Raider Nation, what's the deal, man? Once again, it's your guy PanamaFargo back to y'all live with another episode of the Raider Rundown. Make sure y'all keep tapping on that like and subscribe button, man. You're not gonna want to miss none of the videos that I do got dropping, man. As we get closer to training camp and the news start picking up, you're guaranteed to see more of me, man. And why not, man? What else would you rather do than be here with your boy talking that Raider shit, right? So look, man, without further ado, what I'm trying to get into today, man, part 2 of my training camp scope. Who we gotta look at, man, who we gotta take a closer look at as training camp rolls around, man, and what can we expect from certain players, man. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, I focused heavily on some rookies and a couple of defensive pieces last time out, right? Now, what I'm trying to focus on now is a little bit more of the veteran side, a little bit more of the guys who have been on the team for a little bit, right? But actually, guys, still have some things to prove. And we're gonna start nowhere other than the right guard position, right? And I would say specific general players, but at the end of the day, man, the right guard position is a question mark regardless of whoever you slide in there, because whoever you slide in there is going to be the new starter on the line, right? When you look at it last year, pretty much 4 of the 5 positions on the offensive line are already filled, and we know who is going to be filling them spots, right? When you look at Colton Miller, you look at Dylan Parham, Andre James, Jermaine Illuminor. That's going to fill up the majority of the offensive line, the starting offensive line. That's what I think. Now, when you look at the right guard position, last year they had Alex Bars. That's just not going to work this year, okay? We need to upgrade that position. Now, to me, it's looking like right now Natane Moody might be the guy, okay? But training camp got to roll around and we got to see, like what's going to happen with that. But at the end of the day, Natane Moody might be the guy. You have McClendon Curtis in the back, but then again, an undrafted rookie. So he has some work to do. Now, you also grabbed some guy, Greg Van Roten, I believe, that's how you believe it. And he's said to be, a nice, reliable veteran piece. So he might be in the mix for the right guard position. But that battle during training camp is going to be a very, very interesting one when it pertains to the offensive side of the ball, right? Like, 'cause that's going to be real important for the season coming up, man, especially if we don't have Josh Jacobs back there, okay? And then now we really got to get the offensive line to step up another notch, okay, when it comes to that. So the right guard position is my first one to really look at as a whole, generally, right? Now, we're going to go to the defensive side of the ball. Player-wise, who I got my eye on very heavily, all right, Divine Diablo. Now, it was already said and been reported that during this, mini camp session right here, he was wearing a green dot. And the green dot means that you're calling out plays, you're getting the calls from the sidelines in your helmet, and you're basically the quarterback of the defense, right? Now, with him, we are hoping he takes a step up, a step above, man. We are hoping that when he steps on the field, man, that he is ready to go. He has improved from, his last couple years. Now, the thing about Divine that I've always said that scares me is that his injury history since he's came into the league has not been great, okay? And now that we all know the best ability is availability. And, I believe every year he's been in the league, there has been some sort of issue, whether that has kept him out of games, right? Whether it be lower body, upper body. Either way, man, he's had that, trend coming in. I believe this is his 3rd year. He's had that trend coming in all 3 years in the NFL. Will he be able to get his body into shape, into linebacker shape, where he can withstand a whole 17-game season? He kind of touched on that this offseason when he was talking with the media and giving interviews. He got his body right. We all saw how he looks. But at the end of the day, man, he's got to be able to hold up, okay? Because we need this guy. We need Divine Diablo to be able to play all 17 games, and we also need his coverage ability to be a step up as well. All right, if he can unlock those 2 things, because me personally, I'm not really worried about him in the run game because he has great instincts in the run game. When you watch Divine Diablo, he can really fly. He can really penetrate through holes, man. And he really can fuck up an opponent's running game when it comes to that. But when it comes to the passing game, man, like he said, it takes a little bit for him to try to make that adjustment from safety, where you're seeing everything in front of you, to linebacker, where you got to feel and sense everything going on behind you, right? So let's hope that this year, with his film study, with the way he's taking care of his body, all that, it can lead to him not missing any time on the field, and also upgrading his coverage ability, man, so he can be a 3-down linebacker and we can really get rocking, we can really get rolling, right? So that is another player I'm keeping my eye on. Another one that we got to keep our very, very close eye on, okay? And this is going to be another general thing, is the cornerback room. We got to keep our eye on the cornerback battles, the cornerback rooms. Why do we have to keep our eye on it as a general whole? Think about this, man. When you look at only Nate Hobbs is the only guy that I can sit here and confidently say, like, this guy's going to start, right? He's going to start. Everybody else, for me, I'm not going to say, like, oh, they're bad. That's not where they're starting. They're just unproven. And they got to get on the field to prove it. They got to go through the training camp battle, right? And that's exactly what I'm looking at with this cornerback room. We have a lot of corners who are versatile, can play multiple positions. And this position right here, I said about the offensive line, the right guard, is going to be a nice battle. But cornerback is definitely going to be a battle in there in training camp to see who gets that much playing time. You feel what I'm saying? When you look at it, we have a lot of guys that can compete for the slot position. You know, when it comes to the slot cornerback position, you have a lot of guys that fit the mold, have the ability to play that slot corner position. And, you know, you got a little couple guys mixed in that can play the other outside position opposite of Nate Hobbs, right? Regardless of what they do with Nate Hobbs. Now, if they choose to use Hobbs in the slot, well, now we got to see who can play the outside, right? We got to see two corners. We got to find two corners who can play left and right. But if Hobbs is going to play outside, now you got to find yourself another slot corner, and you got to find somebody who can play opposite of Hobbs. Who's it going to be? Okay, is it going to be the rookie, Bennett, who we just drafted, man, who they said looks pretty good, but at the end of the day, he's a rook. What do we have to expect? We have to see what type of growth he can, you know, provide. Is it going to be Duke Shelley? Duke Shelley was just signed, and he had a great last year. You feel what I'm saying? Tyler Hall. They're very high on Tyler Hall. You feel what I'm like? That's a guy they're very high on. They signed Brandon Faison. That gives you some length that I've been talking about in that corner room for I don't know how long. Gotta have the length. Right? You signed Brandon Faison, you signed David Long Jr., you still have Sam Webb, who showed some flashes of ability last year with a limited playing role, and you still got Amik Robertson, who I feel maybe be on the outside looking in, but at the end of the day, he's still there, he's still got that mentality, and we saw what Amik did last year, and although it was spotty, you feel what I'm saying, it wasn't consistent, he has that type of ability, and we all know what I keep saying, the second year in the same system, most of these players have not had the same reoccurring system in their whole NFL tenure. You feel what I'm saying? Like, when you look at the Raiders players as a whole, bro, there hasn't been much continuity when it comes to coaching staff, schemes, and shit like that. So maybe second year in this system, you see more comfortability, right? And we see Amik take off. You have no idea what's going to happen. That's going to be a very, very interesting battle for us to, you know, keep in mind, keep a very, very close eye on, because, you know, I expect a little improvement from the D-line room, but at the same time, man, our cornerback room hasn't been nothing to sneeze at either. You feel what I'm saying? It ain't nothing for us to sit there and be like, oh yeah, it's been one of the best cornerback rooms. Nah, bro. Now, obviously, with D-line help, our corner room will look better, okay? And for anybody who's wondering why the Raiders corners really don't look that good, is because the Raiders defensive line really doesn't look that good. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that goes hand in hand. When you're talking about football, the quicker the D-line can get to the quarterback and influence a quick, bad decision, will enable the corner room to then react and now make more plays on the ball. You feel what I'm saying? So let's hope those two things take their steps up. Those are really the positions and a certain player that I'm looking at during training camp, right? There is not much news going on, but hey, when you think about it, we are the Raiders, and I've been praying, I've been preaching, I've been hoping that we get a quiet, nice offseason. You feel what I'm saying? No drama, no bullshit, just work. You feel what I'm saying? No, none of that bullshit, none of that, oh, we got, because realistically, right, although it's good for my content and it's good for my YouTube channel for me to come out here and talk about whatever drama shit goes down with this team, I realistically am tired of that shit, okay? Like, and I know most of y'all are too. Realistically, bro, I don't want to come on this YouTube talking about dumb shit the Raiders have done, especially in the offseason, okay? And that's been a trend for us for over the last couple years. Yeah, we're dealing with the Josh Jacobs shit, but that's regular football money shit, right? Like, and I expect that to get resolved. One way or another, the Josh Jacobs shit is going to get resolved, okay? So I'll be making another video about that. We'll talk about that. We'll keep more training camp scope videos coming, man. Keep them going. At the same time, just something to holler at, just something to talk about. Good, healthy, positive football talk. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what I'm trying to provide with y'all, man. So y'all let me know how y'all feel about what I said in the video. Comment down below, man. Let me know y'all thoughts, y'all opinions, man. And at the same time, make sure you keep smashing that like and subscribe button, man. And remember, I always keep it authentic from the clouds to the ground on the Raider Rundown.
Look, hold it down for my G's, still I'm seeing greed. A lot of niggas in these streets who don't get no reprieve. So what you want is you gon' bleed to keep your niggas freed? Oh, it's facade until you ball and you stacking cheese. Okay, I see this shit is